In the past couple of years, it seemed like Ducati could do no wrong, whether it's on the track or off. And if you guys watch MotoGP, you probably understand what I mean. And in the past 2 years or so, some of the favorite bikes I've tried out are from the Bologna-based company. So let's find out what Team Red has in store for EICMA 2023.
To no one's surprise, the Ducati booth attracted a lot of people, likely the most when the general public were allowed into EICMA. Of course, the Unica version of the Streetfighter caught my attention. I'm a sucker for black and yellow bikes, and this one is an absolute beauty. This is actually the bespoke section of the Ducati booth, showing that you can pick and choose how you want your Streetfighter to look and add other goodies to your liking. The 2024 Panigale V4 SP2 30th Anniversario 916, which pays homage to the iconic Ducati 916 drawn up by Massimo Tamburini himself, was one of the bikes launched by Ducati at EICMA. With a limited production of only 500 units worldwide, it'll be very difficult to get one of these. Now, delivery is the same one as the bike Carl Fogarty won the 1999 Superbike World Championship on. Another bike that caught my attention in the booth was the rally version of one of my personal favorites, the Desert X. It's the more off-road version. The chassis has been revised thanks to the new monoshock with larger piston. It's also got an upgraded 48mm Kayaba Racing derived fork. The Desert X Rally's suspension is fully adjustable and has been increased in terms of travel. The bike also comes with Takasago XL rims. The Hypermotard 698 Mono RVE won the title of Most Beautiful Motorcycle at EICMA 2023. It got over 35% of the votes out of the approximately 25,500 enthusiasts. After seeing it, it's easy to understand why. The Hypermotard is a lightweight single-purpose fun bike with a high-power 659cc single-cylinder engine that has desmodronic valve actuation on its 4 valves. It's a bike known for its lightweight, great power-to-weight ratio, and the long service intervals. If there was any bike made for a hooligan, this would be it. Being a Multistrada V4 owner, of course, the new RS was the bike I gravitated to the most. It's the most aggressive bike in the Multistrada line, with a V4 engine equipped with desmodronic distribution. In this configuration, the Desmosedice Stradale engine develops a max power of 180 horsepower and 120 Nm of torque at 9,500 RPM. This new machine also gets a dry clutch made from billet aluminum, which also equips the Panigale V4 SP2 and the Streetfighter V4 SP2. This is literally a sport bike with ADV comfort, and I think it's absolutely stunning.
Alright, so of course we had to make a stop at Ducati, and we see another man with a great haircut right here. Boss Pao is here with us. And
Buonasera from EICMA.
Absolutely, and of course Ducati had a lot of things to launch this week.
Yes.
Of course, we have this right here behind us, the RS, which are making a lot of the Multistrada owners and even the Bike Speak owners a little bit, ba't ngayon lang yan?
Well, you know, I mean, it's technology progresses.
Yeah.
EICMA, they want to sell more bikes down the line.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying this is the final stop. Pero, guys, I mean, a Panigale engine, a real Panigale engine on a Multistrada, it's something to look out for.
Yeah, and aside from this, there's also the more off-road oriented Desert X
Yes,
display as well.
It will always be there, the Desert X and the Desert X Rally, which has the higher fender, thicker forks.
Yeah.
And one of the highlights of the show was also the Hypermotard.
That's right.
The Super Mono, Super Quadro.
With a new engine, the single.
The Super Mono has been with Ducati for a long time. early 90s, but people were not so receptive at the Supermono at that time. It was so very niche.
Yeah.
Now they needed something small, compact, light, but still with a Ducati signature.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what that means.
Yeah, of course, of course. You have to have the experience of riding a Ducati to really understand
Yes, yes.
what that character is.
Yes.
Yeah, and between the bikes that were launched here in EICMA, between of course the Multistrada, the Hypermotard, the X Rally. Personally, which one stands out the most to you, on a personal level?
That's why we're here. This is the bike everyone in Manila, everyone in the Philippines is greatly anticipating.
Yeah.
Seconded by the Hypermotard, the baby Hyper.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, the ones with the mula, you really want this. I mean,
this is it.
ito na yun eh. Be all, end all, that's it.
Yeah.
You have a Panigale, you have this. It's like having a Lamborghini Aventador and a Lamborghini Urus in your garage.
Yeah.
So, ando na yan.
If you're in the younger category, siguro the Hypermotard.
The Hyper is for people like our resident hooligan, TJ Alberto. Hello, TJ.
It's the ultimate hooligan bike for the ultimate hooligan.
Yeah.
And the DX. Let's give some love naman to the DX.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's a bike. Last year when that was launched in the World Ducati Weekend, this is the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
It was really something that was groundbreaking for me.
Yes.
And this is an off-road, a more off-road oriented version because it is a little bit more with higher seat height, displaced front forks and clearance and all
Yes.
that.
Well, the Desert X was basically a tribute to the Dakar from the Kajiva Elephant during the days of the Kajiva Elephant, and the bikes were designed for 70% off-road, 30% on-road, or maybe 60-40.
Yeah.
It's an off-road bike that can be used on the road.
Yes.
Comfortable. The Desert X Rally has bigger forks, a higher fender for more serious off-roading.
right.
Because some people were saying it's not, the forks are not too off-road enough. I don't know why. Pero, alam mo naman, marami dyan na, hindi po pwede yan. But they built it for that purpose. Now it's a genuine 70-30, 70% off-road, 30% on-road.
Yeah.
But still, it has it has excellent road manners.
Yes.
Still there.
Yeah.
It just has beefier suspension. Ride height from the Desert X standard, kasi the Desert X units we have in Manila, in the Philippines, it's for Asian. So it's 0.9 inches lower than the standard.
Yeah.
So this one is maybe about an inch, 1.25 inches taller than what we have at home.
All right. I mean, as always, the Ducati display in any bike show is always fantastic.
Well, us, it's all about flamboyance, we have to show everything.
Yeah. And of course, here in EICMA, in Milan, I mean, this is probably the best one I've seen so far.
Thank you for featuring us, and
We'll see you soon.
see you next year in EICMA.